Happy New Year. Let's get right into the headsets and headphones that I'm looking into reviewing this year. So this isn't a very big list. Mostly, if you have a headset or headphones that you think you might be interested, then go ahead and put it in the comments. So as you probably know, I buy all of my products out of pocket. That puts me in a very unique position compared to other reviewers because I can't just be like, boom, let me pop this $350 headset right here. Let me pop this 300 right here. I have to be a lot more strategic when I buy stuff because ultimately I need to either make my money back from it or profit. Otherwise, I cannot continue to do this indefinitely. And the factors that really go into that is there are a lot of interest in the product because of a lot of people watch the videos. That helps. Also buy the product. That helps as well. In fact, I'll go ahead and leave links to all of these products in the description if you're interested in checking them out. So those two things, is there a lot of interest in the product? And number two, which I guess should be number one, but honestly, I have enough tech products anyway, is do I actually like it? Do I actually enjoy it? Is it something that I would genuinely be interested in? Because if I don't like it, there's not a whole lot of good things that I'm going to be able to have to say about it. But let's start off with this. This is the VZR Model One, and this is utilizing crosswave technology. Let me go ahead and hide my face really quick just so that you can see. And they're redirecting sound in a way that makes it sound like sound is coming from like all around you instead of just like straight, which is how most dynamic drivers are. Most drivers just in general, they just kind of like sound like they're coming straight on right in your ears. There are some angle drivers, but it would still be coming from one direction. This makes it sound like it's coming from all directions. That's not something that particularly interests me, even for competitive FPS games. Like, you've seen me like play Warzone and stuff like that. Like, I don't think that that is the type of thing that really helps in that. I think that's more sound design of the game. Or if you actually had a surround sound system that had different drivers and different sounds were coming from different areas of the device itself. Lately, I've really just been looking for stuff with really good bass and really good clarity. If we can get that combination, bass, clarity, and comfort, that's what I'm really looking for right now. But again, $350, so it's extremely high risk for me buying it out of pocket. But next, JBL Quantum ONE. This is $299 on their site, but I've actually seen it down for like $150. So it actually is an interesting thing. A lot of the reviews that I've read from this claim that it doesn't really have very good bass, and that's unfortunate because I actually have some JBL speakers. I got a lot. I have like two of them in my room right now. They have extremely good bass. The JBL Charge 5, actually, it's that thing slaps. So this seems like a very interesting headset, a lot of potential, but again, high risk getting it. But if a lot of people are really interested in it, then it's something that I'll consider. So looking into things that I think more people might actually be into, not saying that these headsets are even necessarily bad, it's just, I got to get my money back. This is the Razer BlackShark V2 Hyperspeed. I actually don't have a whole lot of high hopes in terms of how well I think this is going to perform because it is, I believe, still using the Triforce drivers. I can't really see on this product page specifically, but pretty much all their headsets are, and it's like the BlackShark lineup. But a lot of people were into the Razer BlackShark V2 Pro and V2 Pro 2023, just BlackShark lineup in general. For some reason, the Kraken V3, I think the reason that headset didn't really perform as well as it probably could have is really just because of the marketing. Like, there's so many Krakens and they didn't get rid of the original Kraken. They're still selling that while they're selling the V3. So I think that was kind of a hindrance right there. But as far as this headset, it seems like from what I've read and from what I've seen, it's probably a just cheaper version of the BlackShark V2 Pro because this one is Hyperspeed. It's going to be wireless. But really not sure about that. But this seems like it has probably the most potential in terms of people that are actually interested in, will watch the video, etc. Next is the Corsair Virtuoso Pro, and this is an open back headset, one of the coolest looking headsets that I've seen. Actually, you see this microphone over here. I didn't even know if it had a mic at first. I was like, wait, what? But maybe it's detachable, or there's a cable that it only has like the microphone on one of the types of cables. Either way, this is an interesting headset. It has graphene drivers, which is something that's really being pushed from Logitech because Logitech's actually these, what I'm wearing right now is the Astro A50X, and also there's the Logitech G Pro X2. They're using graphene drivers as well. Already, it doesn't look like I'm gonna like these ear pads, but they're interesting. Let me see if I can see where it talks about the graphene drivers. Yeah, right here, graphene driver technology. So it seems really interesting. But is it going to have the level of bass that I actually want? Soundstage for me is not really the biggest thing. A lot of people are really into wide soundstage, but even like as someone who's played like competitive FPS, Call of Duty specifically, and some Halo, not like a ton of Halo, it's something that for me, I don't think it improves your level of awareness in the actual game itself. So if it has really good sound quality as far as the bass and the clarity, then I might be interested in it. And if a lot of other people are interested in it, I might pick it up. Also, I know a lot of people will be interested in an amp. Like if you plug this in just to your motherboard or just to your monitor or whatever you're plugging into your controller, okay, it sounds like that here, but what's it sound like in an amp? So I'm actually considering, let me go ahead and put this also. This the GameDAC Gen 2, because you can buy this by itself now, which is, I think you should have always been able to buy this by itself. I used to have one of these with my Arctis Nova Pro, but I sold that because I just didn't really like the headset itself. I think the value of the headset's really not that high, but the value of this plus the headset is actually pretty decent. So if it was possible to buy the headset by itself or the GameDAC by itself, it actually would have been pretty cool. So I actually like this because it has like built-in settings, and then you can move this and change it if you're using different consoles. Like if you take it from console to PC, and then the settings just save right here, and it gets very loud, like considerably louder than like my motherboard, but it's also very clean. We don't have a lot of distortion here. So I might get this if I was going to get the Corsair. Moving on, IEMs actually, if I'm gonna get bass, it seems to me like the most potential for bass is if it's like right in your ear itself. Now, Crinacle is one of those people that like he's talked about the Harman target a lot. At any time a company is really talking about like, oh, we're adhering to the Harman target, I'm already like, if you know how that thing works, basically they pulled a bunch of people and had them to press a button to increase or decrease the bass on sound, and whether they liked one or the other more. And they just kind of, I think it was less than 100 people, they just kind of averaged up their results, and they're like, okay, we're gonna make a curve average based off of you guys' results. Not really that many people, not that large of a sample size. Boom, this is the correct curve, this is the Harman target. And I'm like, so if you were one of the people that didn't like that specific sound, then you're just kind of screwed, because a lot of companies just kind of take that as like gospel, and they just make all their headsets, oh, we want Harman target, Harman target. So if you're not into that, then it's like, anytime a company really talks about that, I'm not really into it. But one of the cool things about Crinacle is he does at least say, even in his video when he was talking about this, he's like, it's a public preference curve. Like that's what it is. I know people are like making it out to be like the objective perfect type of sound, but it is a public preference curve. And the sample size of that curve is really not very big. This is very interesting. I am not necessarily interested in this specifically because it costs $50. Actually, it is something that might be worth trying. If I can get one that has really booming bass, sounds pretty cool. He said, I think that this has like a built-in subwoofer. You can like get some additional thing with it, but I gotta like really see more about it before I do that. But a lot of people were telling me to get IEMs, so it's something that I am interested in, and then especially for the price, it does seem very compelling. One thing I do want to kind of avoid is I don't like getting into like the type of audiophile viewer base, simply because there's like the kind of idea like the type of sound that I like is correct. If you go on a lot of audiophile forums, if you go on Reddit, there are some people that actually do like a significant amount of bass, but there are a lot of people that are very vocal about a type of sound, like a lot of where they like really elevated upper mid range, really sharp treble, and really weak bass. And they said that's like, this is the objectively correct sound. This is neutral. And it's like, well, that's cool that you like that type of sound, but just because you like that sound and just because you think it's neutral doesn't mean that everybody else will. So I don't really want to get into the, all right, this is my review of this headset, this is my review of these earbuds, I don't like it because of this reason. And they're like, no, this is excuse me, if you don't like this type of sound, then you're not a critical listener. So I really don't want to get into that audiophile snobby type of fan base. So that's why one of the reasons I wouldn't really be interested in an audiophile type of device in the first place. I'm mostly for people that actually do listen to the stuff and actually just like how it sounds, for entertainment, but also for competitive gaming if that's what you're into. Now, as far as bass, getting back to that, I do have the Crusher Evo, but the Crusher ANC too. See, here's the thing with Skullcandy. They have treble. This is the thing. It's really strange because they're known for bass. That's the first thing that they always say. The drivers themselves, when you turn off the actual like vibration motors, it has really high, sharp, annoying, piercing treble, really strong upper mid range, not really that clear in either of those, and really dipped mids, and then like very muffled, but not even very strong bass and sub bass. And then what happens is you combine that with the sensory bass, which is kind of like a controller vibration, but it's a lot more subtle. It's a lot better. It actually sounds pretty cool. You get an experience that you can't get in any other headphones or headset, but it definitely doesn't sound natural at all. So they finally have an EQ app. I don't know if they showed on this page. Yeah, finally, because the EQ app that they had before was, you couldn't really control it. You just had to use one of their 3 presets and that was it. But now that you can actually get some control, you might be able to make this sound decent. And if the drivers are a little bit different, the core driver is not like the sensory bass, then there might be some potential there. Because I am really looking for really strong bass headphones. That's just what I enjoy. I've tried a few. I kind of want to make a follow-up video to the best bass type of headphones that I've heard or that I was looking for from last year. So far, still the A50, the Astro A50 Gen 4, still that, and the Drop C plus PC38X are at the top. And then this is under those. This is the A50X. But I haven't had anything besides those that's been like, man, this just sounds, I love the bass in this thing. But I will say right now, this is the device that I've been using the most. This is the Astro A50X. And the reason I've been using it the most is because it's compatible with PS5 and Xbox and PC all at the same time. I have all three of those systems I didn't even used to, but I have it plugged right now into my PS5 and my PC. So if I want to switch one or the other, boom, I can do that. If I want to listen to like something like in between matches or something, then I've got this Bluetooth right here. So it's really versatile for that. I just wish that they had the pleather ear cushions that you can get with the mod kit. But either way, any type of devices, I want to review Stream Tech, actually, believe it or not, like lights and capture cards, mics, all that types of stuff, webcams. So if there's something that you're really interested, then go ahead and put it in the comments. I got a dip right now, and I'll see you next video. Most likely it's going to be the A50 versus the A50X.